All right, so you are thinking about downsizing. Maybe your kids have moved out or you're just tired of cleaning that big house. Or maybe you just want a simpler life. But there's one big problem, and that is all of your stuff. The stuff that you've collected over the years, maybe even decades. It's in the basement, it's in the attic, it's stuffed into your closets, and it's piled high in your garage. And you've got some sentimental items. You've got gifts, things that you've inherited, stuff that you swore you'd use one day, and guess what? You never actually did use it. And here's the kicker. You're standing there and you're looking at all this stuff, and it hits you that nobody actually wants it. Not your kids, not your grandkids, and sometimes not even the local thrift store. And it's tough, I get it, right? It's tough. So, what the heck do you do with all of it? How do you declutter without totally losing your mind? Well, stick around because I'm going to share some real down-to-earth steps to help you get through all of this. We're going to make peace with the fact that, most people, they're just not interested in your stuff, like your Royal Dalton figurines or your solid mahogany dresser. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to feel a lot lighter and you're going to be ready to take on this challenge. But here's the deal. These aren't your average decluttering tips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some little known strategies that could save you hours of frustration and keep you from making the same mistakes that so many people do. So make sure you stick around until the end because you're going to pick up some really good tips here. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so here's the truth. Your kids, your friends, and even sometimes these secondhand stores, they don't want your stuff. And it's not because they don't care, it's just simply because their lives are different than yours. Look, we're not in an era where everyone wants to hang on to grandma's china or that heavy oak dining room set, for example. Today, people are into more of a clean, simple, low maintenance. And to be honest, a lot of the furniture and the items from 30 or 40 years ago, they don't fit into the vibe of today. Folks today, they want convenience. They like light, multifunctional furniture, and they don't want to hold on to things that simply don't fit into their minimalist type or apartment-sized lives. So what does all this mean to you? Well, it means that you need to have a plan that doesn't bank on someone else wanting all of your things. Instead, you want to think of this as a chance to create a new chapter free from the weight of all of that stuff. And don't worry, I've got some very practical steps that are going to be coming up that can help you get started. But before we do that, if you are new to this channel, my name is Glen Hopkins and I create videos all about Canadian real estate and my local market of Surrey and White Rock, BC. So if that is something of interest to you, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. And also, if you would like my help with either buying or selling a home, there is a link in the description box below where you can schedule a call with me. So listen, I get it. Decluttering, it can often feel like a massive, overwhelming kind of a task, especially if you've been in your house for literally decades. But guess what? It does not have to be. And all you really need is a simple plan. So first things first, what I suggest you do is you set aside some time for your decluttering. And seriously here, I'm talking about putting it in your calendar just like you would for something like a dentist appointment. And you want to keep these sessions short and sweet. At first, I'd set them for something like 15 to 20 minutes. And I say that because if you push yourself, too hard right out of the gate, you're going to find yourself overwhelmed very quickly and you're going to want to give up. So you want to stick to that time commitment. If you've planned for 20 minutes, do just 20 minutes, no more and no less. And here's why. Again, if you overdo it, the next time you're going to remember how exhausting it was and you're just going to be tempted to skip it altogether. So the trick here is to set aside a small bit of time and then build momentum. And you're going to see progress over time. And before you know it, you're going to see things start to actually happen. All right, so next let's talk about the real value of your stuff. Now, I know that you might think that old dining room set or the antique lamp is worth a lot, but here's a reality check. It probably isn't. So here's a quick tip. What you want to do is you want to check out Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, and you want to look for similar items, and you want to see how long they've been listed for sale. And if they've been sitting there for weeks, that's a sign. It's a sign that it's probably overpriced. People just aren't willing to pay big bucks for older stuff, even if it has sentimental value to you. So you really want to be realistic here. It's better to price things slightly low and get them moving and sold rather than sitting around just gathering dust. And remember that the goal here is to downsize, okay? Your goal is to downsize, not to sort of set up a secondhand furniture business. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into some of the methods here. Now, first up is what's called the Marie Kondo way. And if you haven't heard of her, she's a Japanese organizing guru who's all about keeping only the things that spark joy for you and spark joy in your life. So what she suggests you do, is that a tongue twister? What she suggests you do is gather all of your items in a similar category. So put your books in a category 1, so to speak, your clothes and your kitchen gadgets, and you all have all of those things in one place, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to pick up each individual item and ask yourself, does this bring me joy? You know, do I use it regularly? And if the answer is no, you want to set it aside for either selling, donating, or completely trashing. So why does this work? Well, what it does is it helps you by seeing everything together, and it's going to help you realize just how much stuff you have, and it's going to make it easier to decide what stuff you want to actually let go of. Now, the next method you can use is the simple room by room decluttering. So if you prefer a more straightforward approach, try the room by room method. Just start with a small space, however, okay? A small spare bedroom, a linen closet, something manageable. You want to stay away from those big, scary areas. Things like the garage or the basement at first. Those areas, they can suck the wind out of you and out of your sales. So what you want to do is start with a smaller space, and then what you want to do is set up 4 bins. And you're going to label those bins. Bin 1 is keep, the next bin is sell, the next bin is donate, and the next bin is to trash, okay? So you want to go through each room and put items into each of these categories. Now, if you're not sure about something, just go ahead and toss it into the revisit later pile. And this way, you're going to start to see the progress pretty quickly, which is going to be super motivating for you. By the way, I'm curious, what is the number 1 room in your house that you dread decluttering the most? I'm curious to know. Okay, let me know in the comments below. And also, by the way, if you're finding these tips helpful, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It helps me get the word out to other people just like you looking for this type of content. So next, you want to ask yourself, who might actually want your stuff? And again, you need to be honest with yourself here, okay? Because it's probably not going to be your friends or your family, unless they hold some sort of sentimental value towards these items. And remember, it's them holding the sentimental value, not just you alone, okay? But also, there are other people who could benefit from some of your things. So you want to think about donating to local charities or shelters, or even posting some of these things for free on some of the community boards. And, if you're anywhere in the Fraser Valley or Greater Vancouver, or really anywhere, there's tons of local Facebook groups where you can connect with folks who might really need what you have and that you're ready to part with. And you might even look into paid services such as Max Sold. They're a seniors downsizing estate sales service, and what they do is they will take a cut, but it might be worth it to you to get rid of a lot of that stuff. Now, if you are thinking about selling things online on places like Kijiji or maybe Facebook Marketplace, you want to be prepared, because it can almost be like a part-time job. You're going to be taking photos, you're going to be writing descriptions, dealing with flaky buyers who don't show up, and so on and so forth. It can be a lot of work. And sometimes, quite frankly, it can be easier to just give your stuff away. People love free stuff, and it's going to be gone in no time if you're giving it away. But if you are set on selling it, you want to start off early and you want to be patient. Don't expect to sell everything in a weekend, and don't expect to get much for it, because the truth is nobody cares about how much you paid for it or how much you think it's actually worth. When it comes to selling on Facebook Marketplace, buyers are expecting garage sale prices, and they are also expecting to negotiate. So expect them to ask to get it for less than what you actually list it for. Which kind of leads us to what is, I would say, the emotional side of letting go. So we want to get real here for a minute, because one of the biggest parts of downsizing is the emotional attachment that you have to your belongings. And sometimes it can kind of feel like you're tossing away your memories. But the thing is, you need to remember that the memories aren't in the items themselves. They're in you, right? And that might sound kind of corny, but what you want to do really is just keep the things that genuinely make you happy, and you want to let go of the rest. So think about it like this. By letting go, you're going to be simplifying your own life, and you're going to be making room for new memories and, well, frankly, new experiences. All right, and probably the number one best kept strategy for decluttering and making it so much easier for you is to get help. So the fact is, you don't want to try and do this all alone, okay? You want to try and get your friends and your family involved, or hire a professional organizer, someone who is not emotionally attached to all of your stuff, who can make decisions faster and help you stay on track, okay? And by the way, if you're in Surrey or White Rock, there are some local organizers who specialize in downsizing, and they can make the whole process so much smoother for you. So if you don't know who those people are, go ahead, reach out to me, and I will gladly share them with you. Okay, so there you have it. Those are some real actionable steps to help you declutter your life and get rid of some of that stuff that, frankly, well, nobody else actually wants. But here's the thing. In the next video popping up right now, you're going to want to watch that, because there is one strategy in that video that is going to help you make downsizing way less stressful.